Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabanson and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a crazy show for y'all, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So Charles Barkley is once again making headlines, and today he's talking about the two biggest road runners in the NBA, and Kevin Durant and LeBron James. You know, Kevin Durant, who went on LeBron's podcast, was talking about Michael Jordan. He ran away from the competition. Of some guys played for 33 years, and other guys just quit. You know, that guy, those guys, laughing about running from the grind. Those guys, just imagine those two. Well, Charles Barkley recently made headlines yesterday when he was calling out Adam Silver in the NBA by essentially saying that, look, these guys don't give a damn about us, right? They don't give a damn about us. So yesterday I came across an article and I said, you know what, let's cover it today, right? Let's cover it today. We're not going to talk about it. Let's talk about it today. And this article is from Basketball Network with the following headline saying this. Don't get mad at Adam Silver because you don't want to play and compete. Charles Barkley blames LeBron James and Kevin Durant for the second apron. Barkley blasts the super team era for creating the second apron. Folks, you want to hear what Barkley had to say. But before we get into his comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60+ states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm really looking forward to watching some of these NBA Summer League games. Here's what I like to do. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Excellent. So let's get into what he had to say here. It says, one of the biggest differences between the CBA and today's NBA and the past is the involvement of the second apron, which is a higher salary threshold that discourages a team from spending more once they exceed the general cap space. In retrospect, the second apron was implemented to prevent superstars from forming super teams and creating an uneven competitive field. Now, let me read what he said. Why did they have to come up with the BS rules, Bill? Because all these guys want to play together and not compete. How many great players do we need in one team? Barkley said on his appearance on the Bill Simmons podcast. He then continues on. They made up these rules. These young people, well, if I had $1 for every time I heard the second apron, why did Adam Silver have to put the second apron in? Because LeBron wanted to get all of his guys together. KD wanted to go play with the Warriors. Wait, y'all don't want to win a championship and compete against each other? He added. And then it continues on. Adam Silver had to do something. We can't let one team hoard all the good players. They had Clay, Steph, and Draymond, and they didn't need KD, Barkley stated. Don't get mad at Adam Silver because y'all wanted to play together and dominate the league because y'all don't want to compete. Those were his comments. I want to take it a step further. And let's just get a quick summation of the second apron. I asked the question, can you sign a max player under the second apron? It says, no, a team operating under the NBA second apron generally cannot sign a player to a max contract because the second apron rules impose significant restrictions on spending and team building, making it difficult to acquire high-cost players while remaining below the threshold. Now, there's another question I asked, which was the NBA apron restrictions. It says NBA apron restrictions are financial limitations placed on high-spending teams to promote competitive balance, imposing penalties and restricting roster moves as teams go beyond the luxury threshold. Now, there was an article that was published by Yahoo Sports, and it says explaining the second apron, a key financial rule in the NBA CBA. Now, I just want to get to the meat and potatoes of it. It says the following. It says, what are the second apron penalties in the NBA? And it says also, what is the second apron amount in the NBA? So it says, entering the 2025-26 season, the salary cap is projected to be $154.6 million, and the luxury tax is projected to be $187.9 million, according to ESPN. The first apron is set at $195.9 million, and the second apron is at $207.8 million, higher by $17.8 million from 2024-25. Now, it now talks about the restrictions. It said the first apron. Okay, let's get to this part. Sign and trades are not permitted if the player acquired keeps the team above the apron. Cannot sign players who were waived during the regular season if their salary was above the $12.12 million mid-level exception. Salaries matching in trades has to be within 110% instead of 125% teams in good standings. We get to the second one. Includes all first apron penalties, cannot have access to MLE in free agency or absorbing contracts, cannot trade first round picks from 7 years out, cannot use trade exceptions from previous years, cannot use cash in trades, first round pick moves straight to the end of the first round if the team stays in the second apron for 3 of the 5 years. Now, do you remember when they were discussing about, LeBron James could potentially go play with the Dallas Mavericks, or he can go play with the Cleveland Cavaliers, or he can go play with the Clippers and all of that stuff, right? Do you know the reason that the Cavs could not sign LeBron James even if they wanted to? You can't have more than 3 players on a team with max contracts. So LeBron playing on that team with a max contract, they couldn't just go into the luxury tax and spend exorbitant amount of money to make their team unbeatable. Now, why would they have done that? The reason they did that was because of these 2 road runners that Charles Barkley was referring to. Jack and Jill. These 2 jokers that were laughing at Michael, talking about Michael Jordan ran from the grind. He ran from the grind. At least when Jordan ran, according to y'all, he had 3 championships under his belt. How many championships you and LeBron had when y'all ran? How many championships you had, KD, when you ran? How many championships did LeBron have when you ran to Miami? And y'all up there snickering and hollering and giggling like a pack of hyenas. Just laughing it up. Laughing it up. So Charles is saying, why do y'all want to play together? You dudes were the ones that ruined the competitive balance in the NBA. But what these jokers try to call it is player empowerment. Because they didn't want to call it that these dudes ruined the NBA. So instead of saying that, they couch it as, it's player empowerment. That's what Charles Barkley's talking about. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.